A very good morning to everyone. Today we'll see on the topic ability. Now, what is ability? It is nothing but it is an individual's current capacity to perform the various tasks in a job. Overall abilities are essentially made up of two sets of factors, intellectual and physical factors. For this session, I have referred to sources from Share Slides, Internet Sources, Slides and Images, and I have referred to the book Organizational Behavior by Stephen P. Robbins. Ability. It is a mental or physical capacity to do something. It is a mental, that is cognitive, intellectual, or a physical capacity to do any task in a job. That is what is ability. We have been students have been taught so many things in school. It doesn't matter that whatever is being taught, each person has their own qualities, their own abilities, their own capacities. Everyone can't be a master in everything. Each one will have their own abilities. All of us has their own strength and weakness that make us relatively superior or inferior to others in performing certain tasks or activities. From management's point of view, the challenge is to understand the differences to increase the likelihood that a given employee will perform the job well. That is what is required. From a management's point of view, they want to ensure that the employee is able to perform his job in a better manner. Very well. We have three types of abilities. One is cognitive or intellectual ability. Second one, physical ability. And third one, emotional intelligence. Cognitive ability, or what is called as intellectual abilities, are abilities needed to perform mental activities such as reasoning, aptitude, decision making, information processing capacity, learning, adaptability to change, particularly in novel or complex situations. Generally, it has been told that most of the people who have a very good IQ are earning more money, and they are earning it very quickly, and they attain higher levels of education and higher levels in position in their office because of higher IQ. And they are most likely to emerge as leaders as well. But assessing and measuring intellectual ability is always not so simple. We have this IQ test, but IQ tests are always under controversial. In fact, there are so many popular college admission tests such as SAT, MAT, CAT, MCAT, ICT, GMAT, LSAT. But these do not claim they assess intelligence, but experts claim that they actually do. The seven most frequently cited dimensions making up intellectual abilities are number aptitude, verbal comprehension, perceptual speed, inductive reasoning, deductive reasoning, spatial visualization, and memory. Number aptitude. It is nothing but ability to do speedy and accurate arithmetic. Verbal comprehension. Ability to understand what is read or heard. Perceptual speed. Ability to identify visual similarities and differences quickly and accurately. Inductive reasoning. Ability to identify a logical sequence. Deductive reasoning. Ability to use logic and assess the implication of an argument. Spatial visualization. Ability to imagine how an object would look if its position was changed. Memory. Ability to retain and recall past experiences. Next, we'll move on to physical abilities. People's capacity to engage in the physical task required to perform a job. Even though importance is being given to intellectual abilities, physical abilities will always remain valuable. There are 9 basic abilities needed to perform in case of physical task. They are Dynamic strength. It is nothing but ability to exert muscular force repeatedly and continuously, and that too over a period of time. Second one, trunk strength. Ability to exert muscular strength using the trunk muscles. Third one, static strength. Ability to exert force against external objects. Fourth one, explosive strength. Ability to expand a maximum number of energy in one or a series of explosive events. Fifth one, extend flexibility. Ability to move the trunk and back muscles. Dynamic flexibility. Ability to make rapid, repeated movements. Seventh one, body coordination. Ability to coordinate the simultaneous actions of different parts of the body. Balance. Ability to maintain equilibrium despite forces pulling off balance. Stamina. Last one, ninth one. Ability to continue maximum effort requiring prolonged effort over a period of time. So these are the 9 factors which are required under physical abilities. Emotional intelligence. It is the ability to understand and manage one's own feelings and emotions, and to manage feeling and emotions of others. It refers to qualities such as understanding one's feeling, empathy for others, and regulation of emotions to enhance living. It is nothing but an ability to perceive emotions of the self and of others, understanding the meaning of those emotions, and regulate his own emotions. People who know to handle their emotions and who are good at reading the other people's emotions, only they can express themselves without violating any norms. In fact, there are so many studies which has been conducted on emotional intelligence. When people conduct these kind of studies, in fact, most of the studies which has been conducted has got a result stating that those who have high emotional intelligence will become better leaders, and they will quickly move on from one level to another level in their jobs. And those who have very low emotional intelligence, they will have to struggle in their jobs because they will not be given quickly promotions. Even if a person has very good IQ, if he doesn't have EQ, emotional quotient, in that case he cannot be quickly promoted to next level. There was a study which was conducted in the past, which was taken from 11 US presidents, from Franklin Roosevelt to Bill Clinton. It was evaluated that these people were high on emotional intelligence. Then, emotional intelligence deals with ability to connect with people and understand their emotions. When you are aware about your own emotions, you are in the level of self-awareness. When you can manage your emotions, you are in the level of self-management. When you are aware about other people's emotions, you are in the level of social awareness. When you are in a position where you can manage, you can understand the feelings of others, then you are in the level of relationship management. Thank you, students. Have a great day. We'll meet in the next session.